Almost 2 cents of every dollar reported as losses one year by everyone in the United States were reported by Donald Trump. And what this shows is something I've been saying and writing about Trump for 30 years. He's a terrible businessman. His business model is not to get an enterprise, to nurture it, to grow it, to make it more profitable over time. His business model is the same as a mob bust-out. Get your hands on an enterprise, squeeze all the cash out of it, don't pay your vendors, try to cheat as best you can your employees, don't pay the bankers, and Trump once said, I borrowed money knowing I wouldn't pay it back, and then leave the carcass and go on to the next deal. That's why the art of the deal is so significant in all of this, because Trump's business model is to rip off one person after another who gets involved with him thinking he will make them wealthy while he is destroying their wealth. Donald is, after Bernie Madoff, arguably the greatest wealth destroyer in American history. Trump reported one year almost $53 million of interest. Now, if he held Treasury notes, that means he had over $660 million of Treasury bonds, and if it were junk bonds, more than $350 million. We know from other things that Trump had to disclose over the years that he didn't have a portfolio anywhere like that. So the question is, did he report some income that was from some other source he was trying to hide as interest? And then the question would be, was it benign or nefarious? And I would point out that this was during or right after the period when we know that Donald Trump was very deeply entangled with the international cocaine trafficker Joseph Wexelbaum, so deeply entangled and did so many favors for him that I've said, and I'll say again, the only logical explanation for his conduct is that Donald was in the cocaine trafficking business with Joe Wexelbaum. And Donald, if you're listening, sue me if you think you can prove what I just said isn't true. The backers of Trump were banks up until 1990, when he could not pay his bills as they came due. And Donald and I had a conversation one day where I said, so how much are you worth, Donald? $3 billion. And I said, I don't believe you. And he was agitated about that, but I said, Donald, I'm a reporter, I'm a journalist. I can pay my bills as I come due. If you actually had $3 billion, you would find a way to pay your bills. By the way, later that day, he told another reporter he was worth $5 billion, which tells you that he just makes this up. He's a con artist, he's a criminal, he's a fraud. And once the banks realized that they'd been had, nobody would loan money to him anymore except Deutsche Bank, which was the preferred bank for Russian oligarchs, that is the criminal gang around Vladimir Putin, to launder their money.